one of the worst failures of the criminal justice system.
There was no way that anybody could look at this and think this was okay.
There are enough survivors that refuse to give up. I want justice. He's dead, but he did not act alone. None of them have been held accountable.
Start digging into his life, pulling out this spider web of people.
This is the tip of a much bigger iceberg.
Take them down. Take everybody down.
The monsters are still out there. You took our freedom, now we're going to take yours.
This is absolute madness, and I say that so much, man, but isn't politics just crazy and just all out bullshit in this country? I mean, across the board in every way, I gotta say. Let me know what you say about all this chaos in the comments, man. But is this bad for Trump? You see with the latest talks about the EpFiles and the fact that the truth was never fully exposed with all this sick, twisted, demonic wicketry, and there wasn't really pure accountability held on the level that there should be with this sick, twisted ish. You know, it just freaks everyone to fuck out that things may have indeed been covered up, as the only one to really pay is Ghislaine. And many people feel, myself included, like she didn't pay like she should. And then you add all this up with Trump's mentioning all this, what Elon Musk, who was his bro, they had a working relationship, seemed to be friends. What he said about Trump stalling the process and not wanting it to come out some time ago because he's in it, even though he kind of backed off that, he fully didn't back off. Then you add up all the other ish that's always been going on with all the political madness that gets crazier day by day with the internet, social media, bots, the way the news cycle is used, the left and the right going at each other, just pure division in this country. And then you add on top of it too, into that equation, the shutdown and all the back and forth with all that. It's just sickening what's going on in what we're talking about here. And you see all the theories that people are coming up with. Hey, Clinton was involved, Trump was involved, these people gotta pay, Trump's the one that had Epstein suicided. And let me make it clear too to everyone out there, if you're new to this channel, we just kind of talk it up on these different news topics, and it's more about having a conversation with you guys. I never claim to know it all. I never claim to understand everything on some master genius level. You know what I'm saying? I'm just an average dude grabbing a device and tapping in with you guys out there to have a conversation and see what we can come to. And specifically speaking of politics, I always say I don't think anyone truly understands this madness in this country, even the people involved in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all out flunkery, flim-flammery, scammery, lies, deception, and just playing dirty to the ultimate level. But, you know, when it comes to Trump, these latest things here, as you see, one of the things people are referencing the most is some kind of email where he mentions Trump as, like, he's met some bad people, but Trump's the worst. Or this other thing about him being the dog that hasn't barked or has barked or something, and Trump knowing what's going on but asking them to stop. Like, I just don't know what to make of all this. But I gotta tell you guys that ultimately, at the end of the day, the one thing for me that always kind of rubbed me the wrong way with Trump and Epstein, and I know a lot of the Trump supporters are just going to say, yo, you know, he banned him from his social club. Epstein made a pass at someone who was a member's daughter or something like that, and he got rid of him. I know that's like the official story that people go to. But is anyone out there starting to question that and wondering if that is bullish? You know what I'm saying? We saw what the Wall Street Journal published some time back about that card where I think Ghislaine was the one that put together letters or whatever in messages from some people, powerful and rich people to Epstein for his birthday, and one of them was said to be from Trump, where it was a weird drawing and message, and he says it isn't him, that is bullish. He doesn't doodle like that. And I'm paraphrasing with a lot of this stuff, guys, so don't quote me, you know what I mean? But from my understanding, on an official level, there still hasn't been verification on that card either way. And to me, it's just looking spookier and spookier the more that this thing is kind of put on the back burner. And a lot of people are saying, well, Trump ain't the one doing that as well. He's not the one stalling all this. Do you believe that to be true, or do you think that something is going on, that something's fishy? The thing to me that was always weird, another thing, was that Alex Acosta guy, who was a member of Trump's cabinet, you know, who was a prosecutor or whatever in Florida, that let Epstein off back when they had him dead to rights for all that sick ish he was doing with high school girls in Florida or whatever it is. And he cut him just the most ludicrous deal and pretty much let him walk. It never made sense to me that he was a part of Trump's team, a part of Trump's cabinet, and he only stepped down once, you know, the Epstein-ish came out, that we saw him, you know, unalive himself or whatever you believe happened. Then he steps down, and Trump is still saying, nah, he's a good guy. He doesn't even have to step down. That was just always very weird, very bizarre to me, that Trump knew of Epstein, you know what I'm saying? And that prosecutor or whatever he was becomes a member of Trump's cabinet, Trump's team, if you will. That was just a bit spooky. And now we're hearing that he's mentioned a lot in these latest releases. But you guys want to hear something that I absolutely find to be crazy as fuck, but it doesn't shock me at all? As we know, everyone has their vices, and it seems gambling. A lot of people are really addicted to gambling, as gambling, you know, has been like around forever, right? Like the mob, organized crime, it was always about gambling was one of their big money making operations, you know, in the criminal underworld, if you will. And you know, when you drop them Super Bowl votes and shit, you can vote on the over and under of the fucking national anthem. You can vote on the coin toss. Well, now there's this what's this website called? Polymarket. It is a platform where users can place bets on the likelihood of world events. The chances of Trump that he will be impeached by the end of 2026 have increased from 5 to 15% on Friday, after these latest releases and all these mentions and all this Epstein Trump talk. And that's just wild to me, as Trump was impeached twice last time around, right, if I'm not mistaken, but acquitted by the Senate. And I don't know, you know, these documents and files related to Epstein continue to cause issues for the Trump administration, and bipartisan groups have called for greater transparency in the case and the further publication of the documents and evidence in the government's possession. You know, and then there's just obviously the mention of how Trump continues and consistently has denied any wrongdoing in connection to Epstein, and you know, says their friendship ended damn near where it started, man. But again, with all this political madness and it being at an all-time high with the shutdown and everything, right? Some numbers, and a lot of people are like, numbers don't lie. I think numbers lie on another level these days, because the numbers can be manipulated, and it's like, what exactly type of numbers are we looking at? And in this instance, they're saying amongst Trump's own party, the Republican Party, these are some quotes here, right? It says, Republicans who approve of Trump's job as president, 87%. That's basically in line with the long-term average, 85, 90, 95%. But look at the Trump administration job on the Epstein case. Just 45% of Republicans, so less than half of the Republicans, are buying what the administration is telling. So when they're saying, you know, polling wise, this is a issue for Trump across the board, even amongst his own party. So I don't know, man. Definitely had to get on here and talk about it with you guys with all this issue. See all the memes, all the pictures, all the theories, all the discussions. I don't know. Again, I don't know what it is, but just that Acosta guy, what Elon said, and just so many things have always kind of felt a bit spooky about all this to me. So with that being said, I'm going to close this thing on out, and let's talk in the comments. And let me know, too, if you knew about the gambling. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I'm up out of here, guys. Peace.